let's look at the Filament Fallout Shelter and see if we can talk about filament organization, because Joel Telling says he needs some help organizing his filament, and I love filament and I love organizing, so let's see if we can help him out. All right, let's head to the Fallout Shelter. Originally, I organized my filament by brand and type, but then I realized that I didn't want to print a brand. I wanted to print a color, and I wanted to know all the options I had within that color. And so putting it together by color, the PLAs and the PETGs I have together, it's worked out really great because I can go in and I can see what the best orange is for that pumpkin and then go straight to the printer. I had all these shelves and I could stack the filament vertically, but then it was really hard to get to the one at the bottom. So I turned them sideways, but then you have to stop them from rolling. So I went and you can get either shower curtain rods or just tension curtain rods. And they work really well because you can press them up against a bookshelf shelf or a closet shelf and it holds it right in place. But this is really to keep the filament from rolling out, not to hold the weight of the filament. Depending on how deep your shelves are, these were 15 inches, and so I could almost get 2 rows of filament, but I wanted to see the filament. So I got 3 2x4s and I stacked them. I set the filament on top of it and I got another tension rod. And then not only could I see both rows, I could reach in and get the second one. If you've got a bookshelf, you can just adjust your shelving height. But one thing you want to be sure is that filament is heavy. As you know, kilo is a lot of weight, and when you run a bunch on a shelf, it's heavy. So make sure that whatever you're putting your filament on, it can hold the weight so it doesn't like fall down at some point and hurt a cat, a dog, a child. Stay safe. You don't need deep shelves in order to store filament. I have 7-inch shelves at the entrance to the closet that were designed for, I don't know, DVDs or something when the house was built. And in there you can fit half-kilo spools. You can put samples. You also can put full spools. And this is where I found something interesting. Instead of having to do the tension curtain rods, you can get just foam tape, 1-inch foam tape. You can put it down and it's just enough to keep the filament from rolling forward. And it's certainly more economical to put that down. So that worked great. I also have a bunch of the neat filaments over here. I've got the beer, hemp, and coffee filament, as well as some shell filament and wheat filament, and the metal fill filament. Those are really neat. You may notice that everything in the closet is out and it's not in boxes or bags or bins. And that's because I wanted to see the filament. But if I wanted to see the filament, I had to manage the humidity. Oops. Okay, that's not how I recommend you take care of your filament. But let's take it and put it in this Sunlu dryer and dry it out for about a day. And then we'll come back and print with it and see how well it works. All right, so if I was going to keep all the filament out and put it in the closet, I needed to know what the humidity was. And I've been able to keep my PLA and PETG out for the most part without problems, but I was going to have a lot of different types of filament in there. So I got hygrometers and they're pretty inexpensive from Amazon. I put them all over the closet and in the print room. And I was surprised to find out that even within the space of a closet from the top to the bottom, it was a different amount of humidity. So I got a dehumidifier. I run it a lot of the time and it takes about 1 gallon of moisture out per week, which is great because that means I can move in and out of the closet all day long. Even if the door gets left open, it's not a big deal because it drops the humidity right back down. Okay, as we leave the Filament Fallout Shelter, which is jokingly named because it's in a closet and under the stairs in their basement and probably the safest place in the house if we had like terrible weather coming in, let's back out looking at the transition filaments because those are my favorites. And I love filament. I love all kinds of filament. And I love doing stories about filament. So thank you guys all for watching. I will see you all next time with a regularly scheduled filament story about one filament. Okay, see you then. Happy organizing your filament. Bye.